Boss beats, bitch.
Uncle Jobson, that put two up on Black Power, family. What up? It's your brother in Google. Now you see RANM. And once again, you're tuned in to RANM, RBG TV. We keep it G. Raw and uncut common sense for the common people. Dealing with the common issues, and family, you already know we are trying to seek those common solutions. So all in together now, family, say nice side and proud. What's the method, the motto, the mantra, the motivation, and the madness? Come on, family, you've been knowing this by long enough, so say it along with me. Here we go. You know that the answer, family, is black love. Because black love is the cure for the black nation. Family, let's get it. All right. So today we're gonna kind of put two topics in one, for if you will. We're gonna do a little double header, if you will. Pause. On one hand, we talking about assimilating into the system of racism, white imperialism by way of the government, as well as we're talking about that good old famous Wazungu myth, that famous line that they always love to say when they talk to us or whatever about our conditions and our plight, as if they know what's really going on from our standpoint. They love to hit us with the whole, why don't you pull yourselves up for your bootstraps, yada yada, that rhetoric, right? So we're going to talk about that too. Also, family, what I need you to do, every so often, you already know when I talk about something important, I drop those links in the description box, so check that description box below. Check out those links, read away, study away, take what you get from it, and move on, do what you do about your day. So again, like I said, we're doing a double header today, RANM TV. I don't know what I'm going to call it, but when it goes up, you'll see what it is. But what I need you to do in the meantime, before we go any further, right? The reason why I came up with this topic for today, right? Here's my premise. This is how it all started. I'm in a conversation with a few friends of mine, a few homies of mine, comrades of mine, or whatever, just chopping it up or whatever. And one of the people in the conversation want us to bring up the fact that folks need to take advantage, as this is the way they put it, take advantage of certain things, certain quote-unquote opportunities, or whatever the case may be, by way of getting government jobs and things like that, right? Or anything like that, any type of, government institution, government, state jobs, whatever the case may be, working with the system, by way, right? And their whole logic behind that is the same logic that a lot of people came before us with. Oh, you got to change things from the inside. That's how you make things happen. You do it from the inside. So we're going to talk about that a little bit, right? But before we get into that, what I want to discuss with you, what I want to share with you, family, I want to take you back in time a little bit, a couple decades or whatever. One of my favorite movies, classic movie. It's more than a movie, really. It's a teaching tool, in my personal opinion. But we're talking about the spook that sat by the door. Right? What I want you to do, I want you to sit back, watch the trailer for the movie. For those who have never seen the movie, once you see the movie, see the trailer, hopefully it'll motivate you to go watch the movie and learn something from it so we can apply it. But with that being said, sit back, get comfortable. Ain't too long, about 2 minutes, 2-3 minutes, whatever. Watch the trailer, check it out, what I'm saying? Again, we talking about the spook that sat by the door, dealing with this whole assimilation into the governmental system, if you will. So with that being said, again, RANM TV, it's your brother in Google Nikes, RANM. Sit back, watch the clip. We're going to get back. We will talk in a minute.
Raise your right hand and repeat after me.
The Spook Who Sat by the Door, the controversial best-selling novel, now becomes a shocking screen reality. The story of the first black agent in the CIA.
Whoever they select will be the best-known spy since 007.
Their first mistake was letting him in.
And let me congratulate you on being the first Negro officer in the Central Intelligence Agency.
Their worst mistake was letting him out.
You really want to mess with me? I can show you how.
For 5 years, he was their token Negro.
Freeman, you people must serve.
For 5 years, he kept his cool.
And you just don't get along. Can you be happier with a mop in your hands? Like your mama.
And in return, They taught him how to spy, how to fight, how to kill. For 5 years, he was the spook who sat by the door. And then he turned gangs of ghetto kids into a highly trained guerrilla army.
We live off the land. We match technology with spontaneity and improvisation. Men against machines, brains against computers. Now, if you don't think it can work, you check out Algeria, Kenya, Korea, and Iran. Can you dig it?
He turned a summer riot into a revolution.
This is not about hate white folks. It's about love and freedom enough to die or kill for it if necessary.
He turned the American dream into a nightmare. Yesterday, a novel. Today, a movie. The spook who sat by the door.
And the mayor's office is now air-conditioned, courtesy of the Black Freedom Fighters of Chicago.
It's all about power.
That's it. That's it.
But we're not organizing for power. We're dancing around it. We pray about it. We sing about it. Some of us even read about it. The rest of us speak about it. Oh, nobody's organizing for power. This is our challenge.
That's right.
Beloved Africans. This is our challenge.
That's right.
To begin to organize for power wherever we are. And a lot of times, some of us are very uncomfortable about some things. Like, we're talking of Obama. They just gave imperialism a black face. That's all they did. They changed the color of imperialism. If you're a painter, you're an artist, you can sketch. You can sketch in red, blue, green, purple, whatever color. So they just sketched it in black. And we bought the dummy.
Yep.
And we're so happy.
Yeah.
Got a black man in the White House. Woo! That's an excellent, visual. It is. Black man in the White House.
Yeah.
I hear people say, now I told my son he can aspire to be whatever he wants.
Yeah.
If your son is going to be the emperor of an empire that will murder me and my sons, your son is my enemy.
Yeah, right.
And the enemy of my people. If we're not bringing up our sons to be great Africans, to be people who will raise our race, raise us up as a people, elevate us, take us to the next level, then may you have no sons. Let's be clear, this is bottom line. It's not about sentiments. This is it.
Yeah.
Because our people are dying. You see, for me, when I think about these things, what I see, the stake, I see children who die from diarrhea. Little, tiny things that you shouldn't die, who die from stomach ache, women die at childbirth, die for the most, the pettiest of diseases because of neocolonialism, because of imperialism.
Yeah.
We bury our people like you bury insects. That's the stake. That's what I'm talking about. And, Africans on both sides of the Atlantic, or let me even say on all sides of the Atlantic, we're going to have to realize this. Because some of us, especially Africans who live in the so-called developed parts of the world, have developed a certain level of comfort that they want to keep at the expense of the rest.
Oh, yes.
Of the race.
Oh, yes.
And they do this by being on the side of imperialism. This is a painful discussion. It needs to be had. It's about class now. So let's stop talking about it and start doing it. And, I say all this to say just three things from our ancestors. Kwame Nkrumah says, organization determines everything.
That's it.
Not individualism like we have now. A lot of us believe in the Trinity, me, myself, and I. That Trinity does not work. Me, myself, and I, all three of you. That doesn't work. We've got to be part of organizations. We've got to be organized. The other ancestor I want to close with, I said there are three, Nkrumah was the first, was Mbuya Nehanda from Zimbabwe. She was the chief priestess who used to mobilize the people for the Chimurenga. The Chimurenga was their war of liberation. Those were in the days when we used culture and spirituality as a weapon for liberation. Not as a crutch, not as Panadol for headache, but as a weapon for liberation.
Yes.
She would mobilize our people to fight. And that's how they won their first war of liberation. Mbuya Nehanda. You know what the British did to her? They skinned her, like you skin an animal, before, skinned her. But before they finished, or even before they started, she said something to them. And you see, when they do that, they did it in openly, with our people all out there. So our people would see, and it would put fear into them that this is what we do to people who stand up.
That's right.
So she said to the people, and she told the British, this civilized, human rights loving British, skinned her like an animal. She told them, she said, my bones shall rise again. She told them, my bones shall rise again. Her bones will only rise through you and I.
Come on now.
That is the only way her bones will rise. Through us. And that's what she meant. My bones shall rise again. And finally, the eternal words of Marcus Garvey. And there are many of our great ancestors who've left us this powerful legacy for us to utilize, not just to talk about.
That's it.
Says, rise up, you mighty race, for you can accomplish whatever you will. Rise up, you mighty race, for you can accomplish what you will. Thank you so much for your time.
Welcome back, family. We are still tuned in to RANM or BGTV, and I'm still your brother in Google. Now you see RANM. Like I said, first half of this conversation, we're going to talk about the whole assimilation into the system and this, that, and third. All right. So you saw the clip. You saw the trailer. Again, we're talking about the spook that sat by the door. Now, I want to go on record. I want to say this. Quick little disclaimer. It can work. I say it like that. It can work. What you saw can work. That means it has a possibility or potential to. But when you look at the overall reality of everyday living, everyday, getting up and going down or whatever, from sun up to sundown or whatever, for the people that are in these positions, from your certain, like I said, certain civil jobs or government, state jobs, or whatever the case may be, no matter what it is, CIA, FBI, sometimes law enforcement, this one, that one, whatever the case may be, because there's so many different jobs out there. I don't know. That's above my pay grade, right? But nonetheless, when you look at the reality of the brothers and sisters and where we from, they don't necessarily do like the movie did, like the brother in the movie did. They don't take their skills that they were taught or that they learned and apply them with their brothers and sisters, whatever. They don't bring it back into the neighborhood and try to, put the brothers and sisters on or whatever, give them some type of skills or learning capabilities or whatever, so we can better our circumstances. That don't happen. 9 times out of 10, if not 10 times out of 10, right? That brother, that sister, they get their little opportunity, if you will, their token, you understand, or whatever little crumb that they was given, that they applied for. They get their little money, they get their little advance, whatever, get their little Lexus, their little house, and they out the neighborhood. You don't see them ever again. They go and basically assimilate. They literally, like I said, they're trying to assimilate into a system that is basically out against them and their people nonetheless. But because they happen to, submit, they got their little token or whatever the case may be, for whatever reason, everybody has their own story. Some people did it because they needed a job. Well, there's many other jobs out there. So why would you choose this one? What was your reason for choosing this one per se? 2, other people just don't give a damn. They all they have that individualism running through their veins. Where they don't see the greater common collective. They don't see the greater goal. They see me versus everybody else. And I'm going to get what I'm going to get. I'm going to take what I'm going to take. And if it's at the cost of somebody else, hey, it is what it is. This is the average thinking out of brothers and sisters today. Very individual-like, right? So when it deals with coming to, when the realization dealing with the whole assimilating thing, right? You get these jobs, you get these tokens, you get these positions of power and authority, and now you've got a bigger head, you got a swelled head, you got an ego to go with it, and with that ego, your nose is turned up metaphorically, and you're looking down on your brother and sister, because at the end of the day, you don't take that skill, you don't take that knowledge, and apply it where it really needs the most, from where you came from the beginning. Because at the end of the day, let's keep it real. Our brothers and sisters today, most of us ain't born with no silver spoons in our mouth. So at the end of the day, when they see something that's flashy or sounds good, whatever, it's going to strike their ego. You understand? It's going to put them in a position to make them want to do things or whatever, or sacrifice their integrity nonetheless for a come up. But that type of come up nonetheless is very temporary. The come up that we're trying to talk about, the come up that we're trying to put in place nonetheless for the collective is something that will sustain the black family body. Now this is what I wanted to talk about. When you assimilate into something that is foreign to you, outside of you, that is actually going against you and yours, you're self-alienating yourself from that which you came, which is the black family structure system. That is the system in which you need to reintroduce yourself into. That is a system that really, from which we hail, and we've had all our heights and great monumental eras and this, that, and third. It was from a complete black family structure unit. Black man, black woman, black child, working amongst a collective community, if you will, family, because that's what a community is. It's various different communities, and nonetheless, when you talk familyhood, you're ultimately talking nationhood, because what is a nation? Nothing more than the macro of the micro of the micro families, millions and different multiple family units, family bodies, whatever, all collected together for a common code, unified and for a common code. When I say unified, when I say unity, I'm not talking uniformity. Unified as far as aiming towards black advancement, but everybody playing their individual part within that collective. Everybody has a role. Everybody has an MOS. Everybody has a job. From the youngest, from the oldest to the youngest, male, female, you know what I'm saying? Everybody has their part to play. So with that being said, nobody has to step on anybody else's toes, step in somebody else's lane to get their job done. You don't have to sacrifice your brother and your sister for your come up. Our come up is your come up, if you think about it like that. So again, when you try to take yourself and try to put yourself into a position, or basically allow yourself to be mentally swindled into a position of assimilation into a system that once again was designed from Jump Street to go against you, designed from Jump Street to go against yours, your family, your friends, your peers, your associates, etc. You're self-alienating yourself right then and there, because at the end of the day, all of that stuff, that which you have now taken on, that which you have now learned and adapted into your own daily living, your own life, like I said a minute ago, it comes with an attitude, it comes with an ego, it comes with a whole realm of thinking nonetheless. And that realm of thinking is completely foreign to that which you come from, which is the black family structure. Now again, in the beginning, I did say it can work. It very well can work. All you have to do is take that energy, take that knowledge, take them skills, and actually bring it back to the hood, bring it back to the brothers and sisters, and put them on and make it tangible, make it relatable. But brothers and sisters don't do that today. They get theirs and they run off. This is where we often fall, family. We have to stop doing this. The individualism is not of our fibers. It's not of our being. It's not who we are. We're not a people of individual selves. Now granted, we are a collective. I keep saying this all the time. All for one or one for all, whatever the case may be. As for when I say that, I'm talking about those who are aiming in that direction towards advancement. Even Mr. Garvey told us, everybody ain't coming. Everybody's not going to be down for the come up. There's going to be brothers and sisters, you feel me, that are going to be in the way, purposely or subconsciously, that's going to hold up progress. So at the end of the day, spot them, target them or whatever, and steer away from them. At the end of the day, them doing that type of maneuvers that they're going to do is going to cause them to self-implode anyway. Because at the end of the day, like I said, they're taking on a task and a behavior that is foreign to them, period. So at the end of the day, the more they try to fit in where they don't, the more they try to blend in where they don't, the more they try to even shit on you, the collective family, the more it will hurt them in the long run. Trust me. You may not see that immediate karma per se, but it will get them in the long run. It always does. Because at the end of the day, those that they are trying to kiss up to, those that they're trying to suck up to and impress, these are the same ones that will quickly sacrifice their ass in a heartbeat and put somebody else in their position. You're expendable. So the more you try, the harder you will fall. So at the end of the day, your best bet, if you're going to go down that route, and I'm not encouraging it, but nonetheless, everybody's going to do what they're going to do, and that's cool. But if you're going to go down that route, bring the tools back to the crib. Fix up the crib so we can go out and take care of business. Simple. So yeah, like I said, that's the first half. That's the first half, dealing with the whole assimilation thing or whatever. Like I said, it can work. We just have to be practical with it. We have to be relatable amongst each other with it. Stop being afraid of one another. We always do that, but that's another topic for another discussion. Now, let's cover this whole famous Wazungu Watueyope myth. The infamous line that they love to say, black people, how come, what's wrong with y'all? Why can't y'all pull yourselves up like y'all bootstraps like everybody else? Now here's the deal. Again, remember, check the description box. I got something that goes along with everything that I'm saying. When you look at history, no matter whatever you want to look at, ancient, modern, couple years ago, whatever the case may be, you will always see, I repeat, you will always see the black strive towards self-reliance. You will always see the black strive towards independence, if you will. Right? You will always see that. But at the end of the day, here's the thing. You have to look hard to see it, because at the end of the day, beginning of the day, and all during the day, there's many different hurdles, many different obstacles that black people have to overcome, face, and all that stuff just to even see the light, so to speak. Why is that? Now again, they always say we don't have anything because we failed to pull ourselves up from our bootstraps. We failed to put in the work. We failed to put in the time. Again, I say, family, this is bullshit. Look at any page in history. You will always see a working towards progress dealing with black advancement from black people. Not seeking necessarily outside help, not necessarily seeking outside validation. Us doing what we have to do for us. Period. This type of maneuver puts fear into Wazungu, from the lowest one to the highest one. Self-reliance is a beast. This is why I always go back to one of my favorite documents, one of my favorite government documents, right? The National Security Council Memorandum 46. Read that, check it out for yourself. You'll see what I'm talking about. Our rise is their demise. This is not anything antagonistic or anything like that. This is as simple as black people doing what we do ultimately for ourselves will completely remove and dismantle the workings of somebody else who is working off our backs. They need us to build them up. This is what you call insecurity. This is what you call a people who are not content with whatever that they have on their own. Black folks have always been content for the most part. Overall, we have always throughout history been content with that which we come from, that which we have, that which we work with. We always make do what we got, or as they say, make lemonade out of lemons. Whatever the case may be, that's what you're supposed to do out of lemonade or with lemons. But nonetheless, you get what I'm saying. You take the bad or the whatever situation that you're in, good, bad, or whatever, and you make the best out of it. Black folks are famous for doing this. This is what we do from the beginning of time. We make things work. When we make things work for ourselves, for our benefit again, not on an antagonistic level, just a simple self-reliant, self-sustaining level, that is a ultimate gut check. Ultimately, I guess you say it's an offensive maneuver on the behalf of those who are ultimately trying to offend us. Us standing up removes their foot off of the back. So ultimately, watch this. They say, again, why haven't you pulled yourselves up from your bootstraps? Very simple. You keep taking my damn laces. How can I tie my shoe if you keep taking my goddamn laces? This is what happens when you have the different political, legislative, and different, law-making maneuvers that go on, from Jim Crow to what you got now. Stop and frisk, all this other good stuff. The home loan situations where the banks won't release the loans or make high interest rates or whatever. All these type of different things, family. Meanwhile, you give leeway to the next one, leeway to the next one, leeway to the next one. So what is it ultimately about me? What is it ultimately about me and mine, my folks, that has you running scared shitless, family? Simple fact that we already know, and we're waking up to the realization that everything that you have, you got it from me and mine, family. Maybe not me directly, but you got it from my blood. You got it from my kin. You got it from my family. So with that being said, I want in. And by wanting in, that means you got to get out. That's the ultimate end result, fam. Us doing for us sustaining us, pushes them out by default. I'm going to say that again. Us doing us doing us pushes them out by default. They know they can't do or sustain doing the jobs and the many different things that we do for our survival, for our come up and this, that, and third. They can't do it. Case in point, they proved that by bringing our black asses over here, as well as enslaving the brothers and sisters that was already here. They proved that point. They can't handle work. They can't handle thinking. All they can do is steal, rob, rape, and pillage, and utilize the works for somebody else's back, but put their name on it as if they did. That's what children do. They have to copy homework. That's what children do when they don't study, metaphorically speaking. So what am I saying ultimately when I say both of these different, when I say both halves of this topic? From the assimilation to the whole bootstraps thing or whatever. It's very simple. It's very simple. What man has done, man can do again. Everything that we have done before, we did not need to depend upon somebody else, or as Mr. Garvey stated before. Any leadership that teaches you to depend upon another race is a leadership that will enslave you. The more you assimilate yourself, or try to, the more you try to blend in, the more you'll be spotted, the more you'll be outcasted. Now again, they'll bring you in, they'll smile and you know what I'm saying, kick it with you, whatever whatever the case may be. But remember, you're expendable. They'll sacrifice your ass in a minute. So why even put yourself through that turmoil? Why even put yourself through that heartache when at the end of the day you can take that same potential, that same energy that you're giving them, pretty much giving it away, freelancing it away, and bring it back home, grow it, sow it, raise it up, homegrown, amongst your own, and sustain. Do it for you. Why not? Why not? Because at the end of the day, I'm saying, like I've always been saying on every episode, everybody else plays the game but us. We're being played like the game. Gut check. And dealing with this whole bootstrap thing, whatever, talking about Wazungu or whatever, message to y'all. Ain't that many laces y'all can take, metaphorically speaking. Ain't that many laces y'all can take. Because at the end of the day, watch this. Watch the metaphor. Black folks love to wear boots, right? Some folks wear their boots laced up. Some folks don't. But at the end of the day, they keep stepping, right? Gut check. What am I saying when I'm saying this? We gonna do what we gonna do. You gonna move by default. Period. Point blank. So at the end of the day, you might as well start walking now. You might as well start walking now. You might as well fall back now. Because at the end of the day, your online rants mean nothing, because in reality, in real street time, none of that is around. So at the end of the day, your insecurities have risen to the top. Your hand has been shown. We see what it is. We know it for what it is. Your time is up. The laces that you got, the straps that you got, you better enjoy them. You better, worship them things like the best trophies you got, because at the end of the day, you can have them. We still gonna do what we gonna do. We still gonna rock and roll. We still gonna thrive and strive. So at the end of the day, your tears mean nothing. Your rants mean nothing. So you might as well say, stop fooling yourself, fam, and get it out the way. Just do you. We gonna do us. Everybody gonna do them. That's the whole concept of race first, man. Be content with what you have. If you are really in the position or have this, of this ego that you swear that you have, if the workings, nonetheless, the backing and the history matches the ego that you have when dealing with us, when relating to us, right? If what you think you are is who you really are, and what you think we are is really what it is, there will be no need for you to do the things that you do. There will be no need for you to make the maneuvers that you do. There will be no need for you to place the hurdles in front of my people that you do. There will be no need for it, because at the end of the day, again, you will be content with what you got just as much as we are content with what we got. It's not that hard. But what we have makes you insecure. Why is that? That's just the way the dice rolls. That's just the way the dice roll. So at the end of the day, your insecurities are causing you to implode on yourself, fam. Just look around. Look through American society. When I say America, you already know I'm talking 3Ks, fam. Don't get it twisted. They're imploding. Their minds are scrambled, fam. They don't know what to do anymore. So all they can do is rant and rage. Because again, they do realize they're being moved out the way. They will continue to be moved out of the way. Hell, they're moving themselves out of the way. But that's another topic for another discussion. So, family, what am I ultimately saying once again, family? Very simple. Let's get your shit together. Bring your asses back home. Plant, grow, raise, homegrown. Part 2, forget about what they doing. Let them enjoy their little, you know what I'm saying, they little trophies that they got. Because at the end of the day, it's one of two things that's just going to happen, family. You're going to give them some more, or you're going to sustain for you and yours. That's it. That's how the dice rolls, family. So with that being said, you already know who I be. It's your brother and good one. I used to R&M. We ain't even going to drag this out no more. We're going to let it rock like that. You've been watching R&M RBG TV, family, and you know we keep it G. Everyone to cut common sense for the common people. Dealing with common issues, trying to seek common solutions. Thinking ain't illegal, family. Living black ain't wrong. All in together now, family. Get down or lay down. Put in work or step aside quietly. Those are the only options that you got. So with that being said, stay tuned to the next one.